And we are live.
Yo.
Chill. What's up? We have the homie Drew with us today. Where you at, Drew?
I'm down here in sunny Palm Desert, California. It's hot as fuck. I'm super hungover, and yeah, it's kind of miserable. I'm not gonna lie. It's like 80 something degrees right now.
Oh, geez,
and like
Christ.
my brain can't comprehend that it's March. Like it doesn't make sense to my body, and it's too much light, and I'm not built for this place, man. But I'm having a good time, So, how are things up there in the rainy state?
Actually, it's sunny this week. It's like the nicest week that we've had in a while. Like yesterday was gorgeous. It's been freezing in the morning. Like 32 degrees. Oh, yeah. Easily.
Probably like clear, and then everything gets like frosty and stuff.
Oh, yeah. I slipped coming out of my shed this morning.
Oh, no.
Almost busted my ass. Yeah. It's a good thing I slip on that all the time. You'd think I would learn it by now, but I'm not a very smart person, so.
Well, you got that skateboard balance that'll like save you in situations like that quick like twitch reaction shit,
Yeah, the quick fast twitch muscle fibers.
Yeah, me and John and a bunch of the homies, we used to go to the river and we would jump. We would try to like get as far as we could up the river, jumping on rocks, and it was more like a stream, I guess. But like you can still go over your head, but there was rocks scattered amongst, and we would run and like try to jump from rock to rock and like island hop our way up the river as far as we could. And we would always go like after skating, and always credited our rock hopping skills and our balance, and like because we'd be jumping on like wet rocks, slippery stuff. We'd go there in the rain, like we didn't give a shit.
Yeah, and terrifying. I don't
that. Yeah, that the skateboard. I think that the skateboarding was like that balance and using those muscles all the time. That's the only reason we were able to do any of that shit.
Oh fuck yeah! I mean, I still would have busted my ass, but that's just because I'm not very nimble. Not Zach be nimble or Zach be quick. We left that to the Jack guy. Gave that to the other guy.
Jack got the job on that one.
Jack got the job. It's one of those problems when you're like last of the alphabet or the top of the alphabet. You're either first come or you're last come. That's just the way it is.
I feel you, man. I got that last name with a U, so like I'm always at the end or right at the beginning if it's the last name reverse,
Right. See, I got the Z for the first part of my name, and then A.
And then A. So yeah, I got A and U. I feel you.
Dude, so it's 80 degrees out where you're at right now. Huh?
Yeah, just about, and it's only getting warmer. I've been having a chill in the hotel day. The boss took us out to dinner last night at a pretty fancy joint, and he was buying bottles of wine, and like it got bad quick. It was a great time. It was a great time for sure, but I'm feeling it today, man. I don't drink all that often. Like I'm like a beer at dinner kind of guy. It's just not my thing necessarily, but when the boss is buying and it's a good time, I went for it, dude. I said, fuck it. I don't got to drive back to the hotel, so it's all good. And I'm not regretting it, but I am certainly feeling it today.
Yeah, definitely understanding the repercussions of those actions.
Oh yeah, and the heat, like the heat and the dryness and stuff, that all just makes it that much worse. Like I want to like go to the store. And I went out earlier, and like the brightness was like, it was like making my head pound. Like it's kind of crazy to me going back and forth between different like biomes, and like environments and stuff, and going from the cold in Washington and then out to the heat and then out to the snow and then like just
immediate change. Did you feel like, was there an immediate feeling when you got off the plane, or did it take a while? I'm in this podcast, by the way.
No, I see you.
Just for everybody that's like, hey, there's another
surprise
guy. This is my brother Heavy. I don't know if you guys have seen him in a podcast in recent years, maybe years back when I first did podcasts.
Oh,
but you should definitely go check him out on the High Nines podcast that we do, which is fucking fantastic. We like to get blazy blazed.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we just here at the Nine Media Studio chilling. So everybody, give a warm welcome to my brother Heavy. And
insert applaud sound.
We'll add that in post.
Right.
So,
but yeah, did you feel it immediately, or did it take a second for it to hit you?
I could feel it right away. I mean, one of my favorite things, and sometimes one of the worst things. So, I mean, back up a little bit. I travel pretty frequently for work, kind of all over the States. So, that walking out of the plane, either like onto the tarmac or into the airport, like once you finally get the doors opening up and you get hit with the outside air, it's always different wherever you go. And coming out in Palm Springs in the airport here, it's one of my favorites. It might be my favorite airport because it's so sick. Like right when you get off the plane, you walk through and it's just like this outdoor courtyard, and there's palm trees and there's like benches. You can smoke, you can like get a bite to eat, and it's like super mellow there, especially especially with COVID going on right now.
Yeah,
so
chill, relax.
It is super chill, but as soon as you walk out into that open air, like you get hit with the heaviness of that like Southern California heat. And it was like 7:30 p.m. When I got down, and even then coming out, you just get hit with it. And like the last real air you breathed was outside of SeaTac, you know what I'm saying? So then you go from that cold, crispy air, which that's always my favorite thing, is flying back home, coming out of the airport and just getting hit with that crispiness of the Washington cold. Like I love it every time. But yeah, to answer your question, you certainly do feel that as soon as you get out into the open air, for sure.
Yeah, that's how it is whenever I fly back. I'm from Louisiana, so anytime I fly back home to Louisiana, the second the plane doors open and you get just one breath of that humidity in your lungs, and it's hard to take in, and you've been breathing in that clean, crisp Seattle air for the last year, a few months.
Yeah.
Feel it. It's a oh shit.
The only thing I have to be able to put towards this conversation is the one time I went to Vegas, and
it's hot in Vegas, yeah.
It was the craziest thing, because like in the airport they still have air flowing through the thing, so it was somewhat thin.
Yeah.
Soon as you step out of the doors opened, and I swear to God I walked through gelatin.
Yeah.
That wasn't air. It was being pumped into the sky from somewhere, and it had a thick viscosity to it. Like, I had to push through. I was chewing it down. There was yumminess to it. Even the people in Vegas, though, were like, it's more humid here right now than it's ever been. And I'm like, well, that's great. The one time I'm here,
you gotta eat your way through it.
So ridiculous. I honestly almost bought the oxygen bars. They had like bars of oxygen. And
I remember when that came out.
Yeah, they're like, you can just fucking do this. It helps you with drinking. I'm like, I need this for air.
I just need it.
To breathe. Like,
oxygen bar. What?
This all day and drinking.
What the hell is it?
How do people don't not suffocate just from passing out drunk outside? You just suffocate.
Yeah.
The air's so thick, it was gonna choke you.
Well, not to mention you mix that heat with the alcohol, and then you're dehydrated, and it all piles up, you know.
I'm just afraid of the weight of the air. Like the weight of the air will crush your esophagus.
Yeah,
like a fucking 5-pound weight floating around you at all times. That's what it felt like. Like I was just having to slush through water.
Yeah,
it was crazy.
Well, and that's one thing that I hate about like the hotel life sometimes is like here, for example, I want to go outside. Sometimes like, you know, you're in the room, you got the AC running 24/7, of course. And like, it gets kind of like almost dewy inside because like you've had that shit running forever. So you want to get some fresh air, and you go outside and it's like this thick, hot, like it's not a relief, you know, it's not that beautiful tree powered fresh air that I'm grown up on, you know. It hits different.
Live in these places, like
I wonder that sometimes.
You can't breathe until you get breath. Yeah, like
it's so weird. Like how how are people not deprived of oxygen all over the fucking world where it's like 1,000 times more humid than it is here? It doesn't make sense.
I've never been to Colorado, but that's one place that I want to go because I hear that it's one of those, you step off the airport or you step off the airplane at the airport and you just get hit with this, like the freshest air you've ever felt in your life. Like that sounds cool.
Extreme to you because you grew up in Seattle where the air is also pretty fresh most of the time. Yeah,
most of the time, yeah.
This shitty air quality thing as of recently, but typically on the usual day, if you grew up here, then
it's always good. That's why I'm like, how the hell do people survive anywhere else? Like it makes me fucking curious.
You don't know. You think that
how y'all doing
walking through life feeling like a fat guy is hugging you the whole time is just normal?
That's so fucking weird to me. That's so weird. But Colorado, I have been there. Colorado Springs, Colorado.
Colorado Springs, yeah.
And it is so fucking dry.
Really?
I was so dry. It's a desert. Like, at least Colorado Springs is. It's a desert. Like, there's the Gates of the Gods or something like that up there, which are these big desert sandstones that have been blasted over 10,000 years to make these, like, archway-looking things. And I was there for a week. And every part of me split and dried out. Like,
man.
My eyeball was peeling.
Oh.
It was the most insane thing ever. I also spent a lot of time in the pool, but that's because it was so dry that I felt like I had to be in water, but not the best water, of course.
Then the chlorine, like, dries you out.
Over time. Yep. But, God, it was the most insane thing. I was like, how does anybody... You're literally being cooked all day. It was like 113 degrees. The first time I'd ever been in anything over 100-degree weather. I'm like, well, this is not normal. They're like, this is every week. What are you doing then? Move. There's so many other places. There's colder places up the mountain. Like, you could go up a little bit in elevation, and it's colder, at least.
Dude, you know what's crazy about that though is like hella rich people. So I'm in Palm Springs, like Palm Desert area, and it's like it's so affluent. I mean, we're driving around like in the work truck going place to place, whatever, and you're seeing like Bentleys all the time, Rolls Royce, Ferraris, Lambos, like they're everywhere. It's like almost a 1-to-1 ratio with like normal kind of cars, you know? And even then you look around and like the least like nice car you see is like a 2017 like BMW.
What
like bro, it's insane. Everyone here is like either retired or they're just like rich as fuck.
I listen to a lot of business owners that actually buy their house in Arizona.
Yeah That's and insane. Like all like Arizona, California, all these sunny, I mean the kind of the snowbird mentality, you know, like they go there in the winter months, but it's just nuts, dude. And it's funny because even like just normal shit is way more expensive here. Like, you know, a pack of cigarettes is like $15, you know, instead of 9 or 10. And like,
that's
dude, they jack the prices up on everything because everyone around here has got plenty of money, so they're just like milking it for everything they can. But it's a trip, dude. It's like it feels like being in like almost not a different country, but just like a different culture almost. And the whole city looks like a fucking strip mall, and it's wild.
That's insane. Yeah, I've never been to like anything crazy cool like that, to where like a whole city feels different. Actually, Montana, one place in Montana felt that way. Manhattan, Montana. Yeah, because they still have dirt roads.
No shit.
All of their roads are still dirt roads. Most of the houses still have dirt floors. It's like jumping back in time. I'm like, what
That's
the
a
hell
trip.
is going on here?
Yo, in Washington, there's a place somewhat like that, which you wouldn't believe until I explain. It's actually on an Indian reservation.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes a little bit more sense now. But yeah, but I went over to Lummi Island.
Lummi, okay.
Yeah,
that's up north, right? Like,
yeah, it's
like
definitely up north.
outside of Bellingham area.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Literally, I was going to school
Okay.
at Western at the time when I went up there.
Word, yeah.
Yeah, and it was like stepping like stepping back into time, or at least about 30 or so years. You know, it wasn't like maybe like major, but it was definitely like stepping back 30 years or so.
Yeah, with this town, the crazy thing is there's a major highway that goes right through it. So, like, there's one steak place that's up to date. Everything's up to date.
So you see,
and then right behind it, it's like 1932.
Jesus.
I wonder if
Like
it's
dirt
purposeful
roads and
like
shit.
that, or they just have no money to do it.
I don't think that any other place other than that steakhouse makes money. Like, people come from out of town, drive 200 miles to go to that steakhouse.
Yeah.
And then take the rest of the freeway on. And the freeway's nice. It's paved. It's the only paved road anywhere near for like 200 miles. So,
Man, we were driving one time. We did some camera work at the Grand Canyon, the Skywalk at Grand Canyon West, and we had to drive from here in Palm Springs all the way out there, and it's about like an 8-hour drive total. And the place we were out on was an Indian reservation as well, and it was very similar to that because we were basically staying. We didn't have a hotel or anything. We were living out in like a trailer that was out on the property that any contractors would just kind of crash in while they're there, because it's so far away from anything else that it's like a 2-hour drive to any sort of town or like hotel or anything. And so being out there on the way, I remember we drove through this plot where you could see where roads were. They weren't paved. It was all like gravel or dirt roads. And as we're driving, you can make out like, oh yeah, there's streets that go down this way. There, you can see some foundations for some buildings and stuff. And then they come across this sign that's like City of Boersville for sale, $30,000. And I was like, oh my God, you can buy a city, dude. You can just straight up buy some city out in the desert. And like the infrastructure is already there. You just got to build it.
30
Like
racks for a whole city?
Yeah, dude. But it's so far away from anything. Like the only thing that's even close is this gas station that has been abandoned for like 50 years. I mean, it looks like it's something out of Fallout.
How do you
and it's got
city though.
It's all tagged up, and it's got
Vice monetizes everything. Vice monetized fucking a dude hitchhiking across
from
America.
my understanding, for the most part, cities like exist and make money for the most part for like the state, I guess. And I don't know. I guess the specific city budgets, I guess, and city, things that the city makes money doing. But
most of those, I feel like they were just there because of the like mining or something that was happening at the time.
Yeah, like little random cities that are pop. Like what happens? Like so, if you buy a whole city and there's like enough to actually call it a city, like so what do you need? What, a hospital, a school, and
well, the thing is, like everything out there,
PS.
You would see a house maybe every like 30 minutes or so as you're driving, and it's off way in the distance. It's on some dune, and they're all solar, and like everything, they're completely off the grid. Everyone out there's off the grid because they're not in any sort of city or any sort of like municipality. They're just out in the goddamn desert.
Yeah.
So
are you talking? City?
What was that?
That Slab City.
Slab City?
Yeah.
Wait, what? I'm confused. And also
that's
Stone.
what you were talking about, because that's what a name of one of those things is called, Slab City. It's out in the middle of the desert.
Oh, really?
I think it's between California and Nevada. And a bunch of people just took trailers and RVs, wood, and a bunch of shit, and there was just like concrete slabs out there, and they built an entire city.
Really?
Just outside of like all the jurisdictions of pretty much everything. So
yeah, like off the grid shit, basically.
Yeah, so they just all live off the grid. It's a bunch of like homeless people that moved out there and
yeah, they do make like a compound pretty much, Yeah, it's pretty similar to that out there, but
I don't think those people at Slab City are going to be making compounds. I don't think they're going to be making much of anything.
Making chemical compounds.
Yeah, they might make chemical
compounds.
Ones that are towards the amphetamine side. You can see a Vice documentary. That's what I'm saying. Vice does documentaries on all them shits. They've monetized everything. They monetized the guy hopping trains from one
now my
city
wheels are
to
just
another.
turning, and I'm just curious as to how does one monetize on a city? Like, where does
Where does the revenue come in?
Come from, like, you know, like where does
Taxes.
Yeah, I guess it would be like people want to move there and start a business, and then they're taxed.
Housing taxes, road tax.
Yeah, like right. And then the government, that local government pays a certain amount of that up. You know, they kick it up to the county or up to the state, and then I guess
there's a profit
yeah.
there.
That's why they
Right.
keep trying to get our taxes here, because they're like,
I mean, that might be extremely profitable since taxes are very, very automatic. But
yeah, you go to jail. You don't pay them, they fucking arrest you.
Because I'm like, how
Dude,
would that
speaking of-
be an incredible investment? Just buy a city.
Right.
It-
Well, I think the thing is like if you got to be able to get people there, and you got to be able to like, there's got to be a reason, like, you know,
water, electricity. Those are the main two things that you would need to get into a city, and a lot of those little ones they just couldn't feasibly get those two things. And
yeah.
if
Well, and most of the time too, like
you couldn't get enough transport in to
Yeah, and
the entire community. If you were to
a lot of the times the all those cities started because there was a resource, you know, immediately available, and that's where everyone got the work, and everyone, like, you know, if you're just building a city somewhere but there's no allure and there's no like
there's no reason to get there, or no reason to go and make money there, or you know, or some resource that's nearby.
You know what is a huge profitability margin though for a city is cities at sea.
Cities at sea, like
Cities
those
at
oil
sea.
islands,
Yeah.
the
Like-
oil tanker islands and shit.
Like make your own island. Like there's a company in California that will make you an island. They'll straight up
Whoa.
build you an island that can connect to other islands, so you can make. And because maritime law out in international waters is open, you can make your own continent and country and have your own set of laws. And what this company is doing is they want to set out a bunch of different types of like political ideas, right? And then send these people out on their little islands, and then you could study each one of those types of political ideas and how well they work on these islands out in the middle of nowhere, to where it doesn't harm or hinder anyone else, and you could collect all the data. I was like, that's pretty fucking smart. It's pretty smart. You're gonna have a couple of dead islands though, so you're gonna have to be willing to risk some lives, because there's gonna be definite murder on a few of them islands.
Well, if you think about it, that's basically what we're trying to do on other planets too. Send people there, see who lives, see who dies, see who kills, who kills everyone else.
Wants to say that like we gotta cancel fucking Pepe Le Pew. You know what? Pepe Le Pew's a pimp. I'm sorry, homeboy's a pimp. Can't help it. Yeah, you got all the ladies, all that skunk tail. They just canceled his ass. And
Did
they
they?
canceled. They had to make what's her face less sexy.
The rabbit chick, right?
Jessica Rabbit.
And,
no, Lola Bunny. Jessica
Lola
Rabbit
Bunny.
wasn't an actual rabbit. Yeah.
No, yeah, but Jessica Rabbit, they had to make her less sexy too. They're trying to cancel Jessica Rabbit as well.
Fuck that.
They're saying that she doesn't represent what most women look like, and so that if they want to keep her, they have to make her a fat character.
Okay, they wasn't saying that shit about Betty Boop.
Right? That's why Betty Boop's still my down girl. I love Betty Boop. Have since I was a little
Betty
kid.
Boop's
That's
thick
my
as fuck.
shit.
Yeah,
Betty
she's an
Boop is
icon.
Shit. I want a Betty Boop tattoo right here. That's what I want. Betty Boop and Popeye. I want Betty Boop on a chain, and Popeye holding the chain.
All the 90s cartoons. Disney had a bunch of thick ass mom cartoons. All the moms.
Dude, yeah. Even Kim Possible. Dick.
Yep. Dexter's mom.
Dick.
That mom from the Incredibles.
Yeah, mom from Incredibles. Was
Super
thick,
dick. She was like thick with like 3 or 4 C's. Easy.
What is it with them? Like, I mean, you think they're just, when they're like creating those characters and making those movies, I mean, I know that to a certain degree they try to put stuff in there that's for adults because they know that they're going to be watching those movies with their kids all the time. But like, do you think that
yeah. That's your stretch. I put some in
is
there
that
for an
thickness?
adult.
Yeah. Are they like, all right, here's a little something for the dads out there, or like,
yeah, there you go.
That's it. So
it's something to help Dad sit through this movie for you.
What's psychologically, it represents women to men more because
because your mom is thicker. Yeah,
because of birth.
Okay, it's like the mother figure kind of thing.
Hips because thick hips means that they can child rear better for us, and it's safer for them and safer for the child during pregnancy. It's a whole lot to do with biology, but people don't believe in biology anymore. You can have a dick and bleed out of it, supposedly.
Well, I mean, you can if you.
I mean, and it
you try hard enough.
Medical problem. You can just do it once a month, and it's totally fine. That's according to the new speech in the new world. You know, which is all right. That's cool. That means that I can be whatever the hell I want to be, whenever I want to be. That means all bathrooms are open. All bathrooms.
Go for it.
Yeah, because I need to piss anywhere. And then they also can't come at me and say, hey, like, you pissed out in public. Be like, no, I can't because I don't identify with having a dick. So there's no way I could have pulled a dick out and pissed. Because I don't identify with having that dick. So therefore it doesn't exist.
Hey, you could be you'd probably get, like, on the news if you pulled some shit like that. Could be some good PR, you know. They say no PR.
Probably get some jail time right there.
They say no exposure.
Definitely see the inside of himself.
Oh yeah,
that's for sure.
Hey, you could get that Betty Boop tattoo while you're in there.
Even if I made sure I was like 5,000 feet from every kind of playground, school, or anything, they would be like, there were children around or something. Slap them with the petty charge. Put them on that shit.
Charge too.
They'd throw the book at you. They'd be like, how dare you?
Red dot on that map.
You saw what they did to that crime fighter? The superhero.
Phoenix Jones?
Yeah, Phoenix Jones. He was out there kicking ass, fighting crime. And the police didn't like it because he was doing their job. He saved more people than the police save. They don't save anybody. They show up and pick up the bodies.
Didn't he get busted for dealing coke?
Shh. It's just a little cocaine.
Hey, aren't they like decriminalizing drugs in Washington?
Small amounts. Now,
like small amounts of drugs, or
if you're still selling cocaine, you're gonna go to prison.
I mean, you can't distribute probably, but
yeah. But as long as you have personal use amounts, so anything personal use, you can't be arrested for it as the first cause. So they can't pull you over and go, "You're smoking drugs. You're going to jail." They have to be like, "You were smoking drugs, but we're arresting you because you shot that lady in the face while you were high on methamphetamine." So they just can't get you for 2 charges to make sure that you're locked up. Which most people that would agree with most of my political views would probably say that's retarded and we shouldn't do that. I say to those people, sit and spin and fuck off. Because drugs, when you put criminal action on drugs, you only make it a dangerous thing. Then the gangs get involved, the cartels get involved. Those don't. There's
no legal avenue for that stuff to happen.
Europe.
And it's going to happen anyways, you know?
Exactly. And so you might as well monetize it to a degree. And it's America. Like, I believe in freedom of people's rights to do what they choose, even drugs.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like meth heads, but they have the right to do meth.
Yeah, it's the whole thing of like, as long as it's not hurting someone else, it is what it is, you know? Do whatever you want to yourself, you know?
Yeah. As long as you're not stealing from other people and shit, that's when it becomes another thing. When you're stealing from me to fill your drug habit, we got a problem. But if you're getting arrested and you can't get a job because you have a drug problem, and so then the system's fucked you over, I understand why you're trying to steal from me in order to fucking supply your drug problem, because someone else has fucked you over and not given you an ability to make money to supply your drug problem. So if they arrest people for just drugs, you now have those people able to go and get a job and still work, even if it's low pay, It's enough for
Well, I know
their habit.
They're releasing people with like drug charge or possession charges that are in jail right now too. They're letting them out.
Yeah, I don't have a problem.
Like as long as that's their only charge, you know.
If that's your only charge, I've heard, and this is you can only hear.
That's literally a waste to have people sit in jail behind fucking.
Yeah, it's a waste of taxpayer dollars and fucking money for drug charges. Now, if you're in there on a drug charge,
I also
and
don't
you got
want
caught,
dirty needles on the street stepping on those.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
But,
like,
they could do it at home, and it wasn't so like,
that's what I'm saying.
I don't give a shit.
If the drug addicts kept clean to like the world, if you like when we were doing drugs as teenagers, we picked up our shit. We didn't leave evidence. There was no evidence to be left. No one knew that we were there. So just do that. And we can make disposals, like fucking throw them in a specific disposal trash can. That would cost way less money than trying to house all of them.
They have those in a lot of like gas station bathrooms, you know, the needle disposal.
Yeah, but I bet that was the company that took care of it, not the state. The state taking all of this money that they're getting from the fucking federal government, instead of putting statues up in downtown Everett of fucking peaches, they could be getting hundreds of those and putting them out on the streets where the homeless could get to them at all times, because those are the people that are banging heroin most of the time. And the people that are able to bang heroin and work, well, you probably ain't finding their needles everywhere. That's why they're still able to work. Like,
got a little more put together.
Yeah, like, and people that, because they get stigmatized with the drug problem, or they go to jail because of that drug problem, like the guy that's working and doing heroin, he ain't been arrested. He doesn't have a...
Yeah, they're functional users.
So he's able to keep a good job and still do heroin. Like the professor that came out and said, yeah, I like to do heroin. He's a fucking professor. He makes a bunch of money. No one knew he did heroin because he does it responsibly, and he likes to do heroin. And so he wrote a book about it. He's like, as long as it's the it's being stigmatized by being a felon now because you have a drug possession charge. Now you can't get a good job. You can't get good pay. You're looked at already as like a crazy homeless person because you do heroin. It's not that crazy of a drug if you were to take it in small doses. They used to sell it at the fucking corner store for 25 cents. And now the government tries to make it sound like it's this fucking crazy, insane thing. It is if you overdo it. But
yeah, I think the problem is, though, it's so intense. I think that people, and I guess I don't know any numbers on it, but it seems to me like more often than not, it kind of grabs hold of people. Like it seems like the occasional like professor that does it and that can like control it and stuff, that seems to me like maybe more of the exception than the rule. But maybe that's because all I've ever heard is the heroin's bad, blah, 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 which, I mean, it's hard to not reflexively say, yeah, heroin's bad, but anything in moderation, you know, it's just about self-control and like indulgence and impulse control.
That's my point exactly. It's the same. It's moderation with anything. If you take too much water, you will drown, or you will get water poisoning.
Exactly.
You will die. You can't take in too much oxygen. You will die.
Too much sunshine, too much anything.
But you could do heroin by smoking it. That's what opium basically is smoking heroin. And people don't fault the Chinese for smoking opium. They don't realize that it's fucking heroin. That's the same shit. It's basically the same shit. It's just not dirty. That's why it's all white and clean and comes like milked right out of the plant. It's milk. It's milk coming right out of the plant. It's beautiful. It's delicious. And I've tried both. And doing both, I'm saying, like, I didn't enjoy the high, personally. It was like being too stoned.
Yeah.
But that's really all it feels like, is like, if you could imagine yourself smoking 1,000 blunts in one hit. That's what heroin.
That does sound very high. That sounds uncomfortable.
It can be uncomfortable. Because some people really enjoy it, or they're trying to escape so much that you feel like you escape. You feel like you almost pop back out of yourself for a second, and like you leave there. And so I can understand the want for it, but I guarantee if people were allowed to do like mushrooms or something like that legally, and it wasn't stigmatized, or you were allowed to microdose, you wouldn't need to do heroin.
Well, that's on its way. They're already doing that in a few states now. I think Colorado, and I want to say
Portland, right?
Yeah, Portland completely.
Yeah, they decriminalize everything.
Yeah,
like all drugs.
Everything's on the table for them.
Yeah, you do drugs in Portland.
In Portland, you could drive down, smoke some meth, and drive back. Just don't leave the pipe on you. The fucking popos over here will get you for that meth. No, they won't. I'm joking. They don't get you for anything over here, except for being a legal citizen and doing good things. Then, because you have money, they will pull you over and they will fine you because they're like, hey, you have a car, therefore you have money, therefore we can fine you and you will pay it. That's how the system works. If we all just stop fucking paying all them fines. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to incite anything. I'm sorry, YouTube. Sorry. Sorry.
Don't flag the video.
Jay Ansley.
Is it flagged now?
Go buy a t-shirt, man. Go buy a t-shirt. It's fantastic, unique, quality. Jay Ansley.
Speaking of t-shirts, maybe this is an off the mic conversation, but I know that you are skilled in the shirt making business. Do you have the ability to screen print a shirt?
I do.
Okay, because I got some ideas. I'm gonna have to send your way.
All right.
I always for the people listening. The homie Lazy is he's a master. He's a wizard with the shirts, with the stickers, the shirts, all that stuff.
Use the little wooden frame and the picture cutout thing. And
that's a silk screening process.
That's silk screening. Okay, that's not screen printing.
That's the same thing. Silk screen print, because the screen is usually a silk mesh. That's why they call it silk screening. But it's screen printing. It's just, I have huge respect for the guys that are great at it. I wouldn't say I'm great at it. Like, I'm pretty good, but I ain't great.
I mean, what's even the process? Like, I wouldn't even know where you would start. Do you just like print something out, or is it a machine that you like? I don't even know. But I'm curious because I have some ideas.
If you got a shit ton of money, you can get like a direct-to-garment printer, a DTG machine, right? And a DTG, you literally heat press like a kind of an adhesive spray onto the garment. You place it inside of a printer that's hooked up to your computer. You put your image up, and you push enter, and then it prints that exact image in screen print ink on your shirt. Then you heat.
Really?
Boom, done and out the door. And you can do anything in any kind of detail that you want. Super simple.
Sounds like the way to go.
It is definitely the way to go. It's about 20 grand for one of those machines.
Oh, okay. That's the problem.
In about 3 orders. Like 3 big.
Yeah, I mean, long as you can move the shirts, you could stand to make however much.
But that's if you go to schools and stuff like that, you could pretty much make your money's worth pretty quick just by doing school uniforms. You can do jerseys, all that stuff. Like, it will do all that. Then you have old style like silk screen printing, which is when you use a screen and you take a photo emulsion and you put it on the screen mesh and keep that in a dark room or under a yellow light and let that dry. Once that's dried, you get a double transparency, so like a transparency with a solid, it has to be completely solid black image, and then that image blocks the light that you're gonna hit the photo emulsion stuff with on like a light table, or you make a light system set up at a certain distance away, and then you hit that for a certain amount of time, and that hardens up the emulsion, and then where it's black, it stays weak and nice and not cured. Then you pull off the thing, you spray it out, and then you have the image through the screen.
It's like a little stencil. It's
exactly.
pretty cool when it happens.
You make it
like a negative.
Yeah, exactly. Like a little negative. Yeah.
Exactly like a negative. Yeah. The issue then comes when you do multicolor, like, prints. Right? So you're going to have to make a screen for absolutely every object that has a different color on your image. And the screen's roughly $60 a screen, right? So if you have a 3-color thing, you're going to need a base and then 3 colors. So you're going to need at least 4 screens for a 3-color. Right?
Is that per shirt, or is that like...
Yeah, that's for every shirt.
So you're saying it costs like $60 per screen?
And those screens are one-time costs. So you make those screens, and then you can make up to 300 or 600 shirts.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Or the emulsion, or if you...
Damn, I thought you were saying like per shirt.
No, not
Holy
every
shit.
screen per shirt. You just have to do the screens per 300 or so shirts.
That's cool.
Yeah, but you'll have to do one of each color for each shirt. So like each color thing is going to be swapped. So then you have to have a table that you can spin 3 or 4 colors around on, and it becomes a process. And if you don't, then you have to try to do a whole lot of like relining and moving stuff, and a lot of measuring. And that's why, like, typically I do mostly vinyl stuff with use a cutter, and then you heat press it in. And you can do the same kind of thing with like this it's a different type of paint that you can use and screen print with. It's pretty typical that you would find on like Carhartt or something, like the stuff up and down the arm. It's that same kind of ink, and that stuff you can actually put onto like a transfer sheet and print your stuff onto that, and then heat transfer it over onto a garment. So there's a bunch of different ways to skin the cat.
Yeah, I've had a bunch of just been thinking about a bunch of like Richwood shirt designs, just because I like making like artistic stuff like that, you know.
Oh yeah.
So I'll have to send you a couple things, but I realized that they would probably have to be screen printed because they'd be like color, you know, and like, you know, different darkness and lightness and stuff. So.
Oh yeah.
But,
there's ways to print those onto also heat transfer print vinyls and stuff now that they've come out with, to where you can actually print on a vinyl and transfer it over.
So just you would print like the image on one big chunk of like blank vinyl?
No, it would like print it onto one chunk, and then it would cut it out into all the pieces and set up like an actual print. It's almost indistinguishable. They've gotten pretty good. And then there's also sublimation, which like turns the ink into a gas, and that gas actually stains the fibers of the shirt, and so it's a little faded and stuff. You see a lot of like the Avengers shirts and stuff like that, and like comic book shirts, they have that like faded look. That's usually...
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I always just figured they like printed the shirts and then like bleached them or like washed them in a solution that would remove some of the dye or something like that. But that I didn't know that they actually printed them like that. That's cool.
Yeah, they do a sublimation, which turns the ink into gas under heat and pressure, and then that ink settles into the shirt and reproduces the image.
So instead of it being on top of the fibers, it's actually soaked into the fibers and part of them.
Yeah, that's why it has kind of a dye and kind of shifts some of the color, because depending on the garment, and you'll usually only find it in like grays, whites, or blacks.
That's badass. It's always cool, like learning about shit that other people are, you know, knowledgeable in. And like, I mean, I had no idea that there were so many different ways to print a T-shirt, but
yeah, until I got
it's badass.
No idea either. And then I was like, I got to figure out. And then you're always trying to find the easiest and quickest way, of course, and get the best quality.
Right.
And that's where DTG, like that's eventually the goal, is to get to DTG.
Sounds like it, because then really all you gotta pay is like just for blank shirts, right, and garments,
shirts and ink cartridges,
and then
like you can get quite a few shirts out of each cartridge, and
Yeah.
I think the most expensive ones are like $400 or $500 for white and black, and they're usually the biggest ones. And then the colored ones are like 200 to 150.
How long do they last? Do you know?
I think it's anywhere between 300 to 600 shirts or something like that. And some people have even been able to push it out, depending on how they dial in the settings and stuff.
Yeah.
To like 1,000 plus.
Damn. So then that's like less than 1 cent per print.
Yeah. So it actually.
And then, I mean, if you're making that many too, you're buying a lot of shirts. You're buying bulk orders, you know.
Yeah. And then you're paying less for shirts, so you're paying like 80 cents to $1.50 for a shirt, depending on the quality that you're buying.
Mm-hmm. Dude, how sick would it be to like actually straight up make shirts, like sew them and stuff?
Oh, dude!
I mean, that'd be a whole nother story, you know. But like,
yeah. I feel like that's kind of the story that the Richwood thing's kind of going down right now. For the people who don't know, like everything's backed out super far, like super far. I even talked to a supplier of veneer today, and he's like, yeah, even most places are out of logs, they're out of wood, they're out of everything. Even them.
That's crazy.
Like, all we can supply you is like pretty much kind of mix match stuff that you'd be able to put together and make it work, but it's not going to be like, we couldn't customize it or give you certain sizes or anything like that. Like, we have these. This is what we got. And anything.
I mean, do you have?
It goes to our other customers.
Do you have the ability, like as it is right now, to press a board? Like, if you had the veneers, could you take it from there, or like what else do you need for that operation?
It's just the veneers. The veneers are even in supply demand. Like, the supply chain is crushed.
Well, let's say you did get the veneers, like even if you just got that pack of like random shit that they're talking about, like just as a base to fuck around with, like how do you then take that and make that into a board shape? Do you have to create a mold, or would you use like, for example, one of the Richwood boards that you already have and just like use that to make a mold of the shape, or how does that work?
Pretty much replicate what we have, what we like with the mold, and then we could adjust whatever we wanted from there. Like, I want twin tip. That's one thing I want.
Oh, really?
I want two noses. So
that's a controversial one among skaters, for sure.
People hate it.
I think I'm in that boat, because it's really only because I like to see and feel a difference. Like, when I like to know when my board is facing the right way. It's a mental thing, you know?
Huh. See, I don't want to have to know. That's my thing. I want to be able.
That's the thing, is some people are like, well, I don't want to have to care. I want to just be able to do whatever. But I've always thought that your trucks sort of get broken in front to back, since your weight is put on them a little different. And I guess if you had a nose on both sides, then like you would probably wear them. You'd probably break them in evenly overall, so it wouldn't really matter, huh? Yeah.
No matter what.
Interesting.
But that's the thing, is we'd be able to make both, no matter what. Because we could just make multiple molds.
So like, how do you actually press the veneers? I mean, I'm guessing they're glued together, but like, it seems to me like for something for wood like that, for skateboards, you would need a like pneumatic compression, like something that would compress them together. Or is that something you can do like with a lever or with weights? Or
lever. So I've been doing a lot of research on this, and I found really all you really need is like a 50-ton jack. So 50 tons is, I've heard 35 is like the max you need, 35 ton. Mm-hmm. And I'm saying 50 ton, and then you need to be able to distribute it, so maybe 2 or 3 of them. Or make a plate that's attached to it that can distribute the weight evenly across.
Yeah.
And then either you make a concrete mold, so you shape out of wood all the mold design, or you make a wood-shaped mold. And then you put your veneers in after you layer them all with glue, except for the bottom and the top, right? And then stick them inside of the shape press, and then you press that down until it's under pressure and all the glue starts squirting out the sides, and you leave it for a few days. And then it'll take that mold and pop it off, and you route it out, cut it out, route it.
So you don't,
sand it.
that was my next question. You cut it after you press it? You don't cut the shape and then put that in the mold?
No, you get like the concave and all that kind of part of the shape in the mold, but you're going to have to get like whether or not it has like a pointed nose or tail or like real rounded. You're going to have that stencil that you're going to put on top of that square cut that's been come out of the mold.
I see.
It's going to come out of the mold square, but in the concave shape of what you're looking for. So it's going to look like a raw square, and then you're going to cut out the rounds. Whatever, however you
basically cut the corners off the nose and tail.
Yeah.
Huh.
To a template.
Yeah, that's...
You would have a template that you would set it to and cut that, and then you would start to basically route it down to that template so it's perfect, and then sand it so it's perfect and round out all the edges and everything. And then
that sounds...
coat of lacquer, and then make your screen print for the thing, put it on a transfer paper, put it in a heat transfer roll, clamp it down, roll it through. Voila, you got graphic.
You got a skateboard.
Yep.
Damn, dude. Well, you know, I can't help but think, I know we've talked about this before, but like having boards made with grip tape already on them, I've always thought that, like, man, I would totally buy a board if it already had grip tape, so I didn't have to do that. And like, because I always hate when like you break your board or something, you're skating at a park, and it's like, oh, dude, I have a fucking board in my trunk, but son of a bitch, I don't have any grip tape, so I basically got nothing, you know?
Yeah.
So I've always just personally thought, like, damn, how cool would it be if the board just had grip? And I'm thinking, you know, if you're at the point where you're straight up pressing your own boards, you're making your own graphics and printing them on, like, it seems like you would have the ability to just do whatever you want in like a creative way to make your board stand out, which is just so sick. Like that's something that you can't get when you just order boards from a company. You know, you have the ability and the freedom to really make it your own, which is what I think people are attracted to, like unique stuff, you know, like Welcome boards. That company came out in the last, like, 5 or 6 years, and their whole thing was like, we got kind of weird board shapes that you just don't see. And that shit's so popular right now. Like,
oh yeah, it's huge. It's huge.
Yeah, and it's
because shapes all the time, and I never.
Oh, I'm sure.
I never had the ability to like really do much more than whatever I was ordering at a time. So that's what I'm hoping. Like when we get this manufacturing and all that stuff going, that would be the thing. Is like we would be able to just fuck around with shit, see what we want. People would be able to skate it, try it out. You know? Yeah,
that'd be really badass.
Yeah, because you don't have to put a graphic on every single like tester. You just make a raw deck ready to go. Cut it in the shape and all of that, and different concaves that you would set up. Test out some different molds. Press like one half to one side and press the other half to one side, and keep a different. You can do all kinds of different stuff. Just be making different molds, and making the molds really isn't that difficult. Like, especially somebody like you that's real meticulous with things, you would be able to make a mold real easy. Like, I'm definitely going to be having you help me when it comes to making them.
Oh, I'm down.
Because it's...
I'm down. I love doing that stuff.
Yeah, when I show you how it's done, like, you'll probably look up a YouTube video or something later. But,
yep.
the mold process, if you make them out of wood, is pretty simple. Pretty simple.
Okay.
You just...
I'm imagining, like...
down in 2x4s across, right? And then you just kind of glue that all together and sand it and make it one. And then you got a thing.
Interesting.
So that's pretty much that.
I think it'd be pretty badass to have like a custom, like personalized board shape.
Oh yeah, any kind of.
That'd be super sick.
Want. That would be
even like I don't know if it would fuck with like the structural integrity of the board, but like maybe on the nose or the tail somewhere, it just had like just a little notch cut out of it. You know, just like, I don't know, just something that would be different, you know? I always like customizing my shit. So like whenever I put some grip on, I'll like take my pocket knife or a screwdriver or something, and I'll draw something or I'll write something on there. I just like doing weird shit like that.
Yeah,
so
most skaters have some kind of weird thing that they like to do. That's why clear grip is so popular, because they get sticker setup, something like that. I I want to be able to give people that customizable ability and be able to do that kind of shit. Like the very small PS sticks.
The small what?
PS sticks. It's a company, and like the Professor Sticks. It makes a bunch of skateboards for pros and stuff. He real popular with like making weird stuff and like.
Oh really? I haven't heard of this guy.
Oh yeah, you should look him up. He's good.
Okay.
He's good. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
Hell yeah, brother. Well, we're at an hour mark right now.
Oh shit! All right. Well,
Right
it's
there.
been a pleasure talking to you, gentlemen. Thanks for having me on.
Hell yeah,
Thanks
brother.
for figuring out this on location situation here.
Dude, no, thank you, because this helps out with me knowing how to do this for all of our future needs and all of that. So, like, whenever you're in town again and I can't have you in studio to do a podcast, I know I can always just hit you up.
Yeah, just get me on, man. I'm gonna be out here for at least another week from today, so
Oh damn!
hit me up anytime if you ever want to get me back on. I'm down.
Fuck yeah, yeah. We'll talk and figure out when your schedule's open, and we'll schedule a couple of them then.
Yeah, let's do it, man. I'm down.
Yeah. All right, brother. Well, I'm gonna let you go. You have a good rest of your day.
All right, you too.
All right, peace.
Peace.